रोशन भाई
Oh,
कैसे हैं? 1 unit takes actually 2 hours. 1 unit takes 4 hours. So in that case, what exactly he can do? First of all, which gives him the better? So this is the 5,000 is the unit estimated unit maximum volume DO 1 volume needed. So ये 5,000 है, ये 6,000 और 3,000 है. तो 5,000 में हम 10,000 यहाँ यूज कर लेंगे, फिर 24, फिर 18. ओके. Okay. Now my question is, since my I can save, but for the purpose of total variable cost, I will take the same total variable cost. I will take 10, 16, and 34 and 35. So so my rank will be, I will start producing with A, and then I will go for 2, then I will go for 3. So for 1, how much unit I may require only 10,000. So it means I will be 100% producing 5,000 units. But since I have 28,000 is the hour is the capacity we have. So out of 28, 10,000 is being used by A. It means 28 minus 10 is how much? 18,000. In this 18,000, maximum produce can be happen is 4,500. So I will say that 4,500 B will be produced, and there will be no production for product C. So I'll just go and explain you one more time. This question was for the limiting resources. So when you have the limited resources, the question has two things. He said that this variable overhead is actually based on the machine hour recovery rate. So first of all, I should know that how much hours you are using to produce 1 unit. So what I did, I just took the variable overhead here and divide by hour rate to know that what how much hours a unit is taking. तो मेरे को पता चल गया कि पहला यूनिट बनाने पे 2 घंटा लगता है, फॉर प्रोड्यूसिंग बी पे हमको 4 लगता है, and then for producing C it takes 6 hours. Okay, now my maximum capacity I have written. So it is requiring 10,000 and then 24,000 and 18,000. So actually I may require altogether, if I wanted to produce, I may require the hour 52,000, but I have only 28,000 hours with me. It means I am limiting with the hours. Now this market price I will be take to know the how much savings I am going to do. So this to be considered as a market price or can be considered as the sale price for the purpose of calculating contribution. And this is the total variable cost. Total variable cost is 10 plus 5, 25 plus 24 plus 10 and 20 plus 15. तो ये कितना हो गया जी? 15, 24 and 35. So 21 minus 15 is contribution 6. 42 minus 34 is contribution 8. 39 minus 15 is contribution 4. I wanted to know contribution per hour. So to knowing contribution per hour, what should I do? I know that 1 unit required 2 units. So I am earning the contributions of 6 by doing 2 hours of work. So per unit in 1 hour, I will earn the contribution of 3 if I work for 1 hour. Here I know 8 rupees of savings I do, but I have to work for 4 hours. So in an hour, actually I am having the contribution of 2. Same way, same way for the product C. I have a contribution of 4, but for that I have to work for 6 hours. So per hour actually I have a contribution of 0.67. So what is the what is the contribution per hour? 3 to 0.67. So 3 is the better, which is going to give us the more results. So I will take this as a first production, then I will go for the second, and then I will go for the third. So since it is just using 10,000, so I have a 28,000 capacity, out of which A has used 10,000. Still I left 18,000. So I will go for the B production, and for producing B, actually I do require 4 hours. So 18,000 divided by 4 if I do, so I will get 4,500 unit from B, which will give a benefit for us, maximum contribution to the business. So I can say that, okay, I will go for the 5,000 of A and 4,500 for B. So I believe our answer will be C. तो इसमें कोई डाउट है? ये थोड़ा सा लेंदी था, बट दिस क्वेश्चन वाज वेरी लाइक वेरी कंसेप्चुअल क्वेश्चन. इस क्वेश्चन में कोई डाउट था क्या? रोशन भाई, इसमें कोई सवाल है तो पूछ लें. हेलो, नहीं है. See, today we are going to study about the markets, but Anas and Adil both is not here. Even the Kamal. Okay. So we will just cover few points: demands, law of demands and all. So what I am going to say कि मार्केट कितने तरह के हैं. मार्केट एक्चुअली वी हैव टू स्टडी 4 मार्केट्स. वन इज द परफेक्टली कॉम्पिटेटिव, सेकंड इज द मोनोपोलिस्टिक, थर्ड इज द मोनोपोली, एंड फोर्थ इज द ओलिगोपोली. नाउ इन द प्योर कॉम्पिटिशंस देयर इज अ मेनी सेलर्स एंड मेनी बायर. बहुत लोग आ सकते हैं, बहुत सेलर्स है, बहुत बायर है. There is a no entry barrier. कोई एंट्री पे किसी को कोई नहीं रोकने के लिए रेडी है. Anybody can come any point of time, can exit from the, and they all are selling the homogeneous product and price is same and no advantage for you because सारा आदमी एक ही चीज बेच रहा है. Like the grocery shop में we are also selling the tea also. The people are also selling the tea, so I don't have any extra advantage to change the price for the tea. So it is like a competitive pricing. But when it comes to the monopolistic competitors, there is a many sellers, many buyers, but again there is a no entry bar. But the only thing is that here there is a no homogeneous. Here the product is differentiated products. It means price can be charged from the different people based on the preference, based on the locality, based on the based on the geographical reasons. So there the products are differentiated. Differentiated maybe due to some version, maybe due to some extra things like the maybe some extra capacity or something like that. So the only difference between the monopolistic competition and the perfect competition is that the product may be in the competitive market the product are homogeneous, but when it comes to the monopolistic, the products are actually differentiated products. Okay, and here the advantage, the different price can be charged, and there is the advantage in the cost because you have a different product, so maybe you can buy from some other places and you can get the benefit. There is another type of market is called the oligopoly. Oligopoly says that there is a few seller but many buyers. Okay, so he's saying that the cartel sets the price. The cartel means the association of the peoples. The association of the peoples decide the price. So the good example is the OPEC, where the oil pricings are getting fixed, where the oil price are getting fixed. So what is a few seller, many buyer, cartel sets the price means the association, the syndicate sets the price. There is a entry bar, there is a exit bar. Price exhibits the king demand curve. Kinked demand curve means the demand will curve like this. Demand curve not like this normally. The demand curve will be like this. So this is the another feature about this. In exam they can ask you in which type of market the king demand curve is. So you have to answer in oligopoly. Oligopoly, who fixes the price? The cartel fixes the price. What is the main difference in the oligopoly and the monopolistic? Monopolistic selling the differentiated products, but here is the many seller, but in the oligopoly there is a few seller. So these are the main difference. In the monopoly, a single seller but many buyer. But many buyer means the buyers are there in the market. There is an entry bar, there is an exit bar. You cannot simply come, you cannot simply go out. The goods are like what? Unique goods, because only you have the monopoly when you have some signature goods, some different kind of goods. Only you have a benefits when you have a some signature goods, some good, some unique kind of goods. Okay, there is a no advantage. Okay, on the cost, there is a no advantage on the cost. उसके उसके बाद there is a only thing that कि what is the difference here? The homogeneous product in the competitive market, differentiated product in the monopolistic competition. Oligopoly has a normal product, but their pricing are fixed by the cartel. This is the key point. Their demand curve are the king demand curve. Here the single seller, many buyer, entry and exit both have a bar. They have a unique product. They have a unique product. That's what creating is existence. Now the question comes, law of demand. Law of demand simply says that if the price increases or if the price decreases, it has a inverse relation. If the price will go up, the demand will go down. If the price will go up, demand will go down. If price will go down, demand will go up. It means it has a inverse relation. It has a inverse relation. It means it has a inverse relations. Now, it is quantity demand of the product depend on the price of the product given under the this. Now if the other things remain same means it is also working on some assumptions. The assumption, it's also depend on the price of the substitute goods, the complementary goods, the income of the consumer, the population size, population and the cost and the taste of the consumer. But saying that other things are remain same, other things are not getting changed, it means price go down, demand will go up, price will go up, demand will go down. Okay, it has a this type of relation, demand will go down. Okay, now they are saying that this is just a changing is demand, but this is called shifting of demand. When the demand curve is shifted from one place to another place, that is called the shifting of demand. So shifting of demand can when happen? When the income increases. When the income increases means now people are ready to buy the goods at the higher price. Okay, increases demand curve shifts right, income decreases demand curve shifts left. Yani agar income of the people goes up, it means the peoples are ready to spend more, so indirectly the demand curve will shift to right side. But if the economy has the recession, demand curve will shift left, means now people have no money to buy the things. So it is very simple, but in exams they will make you little complex. He is saying that in the economy has the inflation. Agar economy में inflation है, it means people has the income, people has the money or no? Hello. if the market has a inflation, when the people will have the money or no? Cost is more. So in the inflation, you are spending more, na? Or you will spend. So it means that your income is increases. That's why inflation comes. Why inflation happens in the economy? No, price goes up. That is the result of inflation. But why inflation comes into the economy? No, when the money, when the liquidity comes to the market, na, it actually, when the liquidity money comes to the market, liquid money comes to the market, it actually tend to increase the inflation. There is a many country are very expensive and their monies are very less, like it is of no value. And if you see the currency in the circulation is very much, it means the more liquid money into the market, actually the inflation will be more. Or is inflation is good for economy or bad for economy? If not good for economy, so your salary will not increase. You know that. If the inflation will not be there, you will not get increased in your salary. So yes, yes. No, central bank puts the money. In the country like America and all, their biggest currency is, how much? $100. They have the $100 is the biggest currency. But country like India has a 2000 is biggest currency. Country like Pakistan, they have a 5000 rupees biggest currency. Country like Zimbabwe, they have a 1 million biggest currency. So in the Zimbabwe, the inflation is very much higher than the India and Pakistan. No, it's actually when it's not, everything is, beyond the certain threshold limit, everything is bad now. What actually happened? No, blindly you cannot say that inflation is good. There should be an inflation, but with some certain percentage, not like the extremely 300, 400 times inflation. Maybe Zimbabwe has, I think, 400 times inflation. But in country like India nowadays still it is under 10 only. In country like India is still under 10% of inflation. And people feels that everything is getting disturbed. So the inflation should always be in between like 5 to 10%, so that it will it will help the people to maintain their cost of living, because you will also get the increased salary now. If you get the increased salary, it means you will spend more. So economy will have the circulation. But something goes that 10%, actually it is damaging the economy. It will damage the economy. So in basic inflation, in normal inflation is good, because actually it brings and it pushes the people to spend. So it means the people's income increases, and this demand will shift to the right. Shift to right. If the economy will have no inflation, it will just deflate. So you will not get the real value. You will not get the enough paid. So you will shift your you will shift your preferences to some of the lower quality goods, you know, or something, and the price will be reduced. Price will be reduced. So in that case, the supply curve will get affected. In that case, supply curve will get affected, and the same time the demand curve also will get affected. If the income decreases, then from this demand curve, this will to decrease to here, because people have no money to spend. So now if the no money is spent, so they will force to reduce the price. They will force to reduce the price. Okay. So when I say the demand, the quantity demand is the function of price. Price means own price. Price means own price of goods. Price of substitutes. You know that substitute. Substitute like taking tea and coffee. That is the good example in our life. Okay, so tea and coffee's price are always keep in that way, so that if you have to pay more for tea, then you will prefer to go for the coffee. So it is the function of price of substitutes goods. Now this is called the price of complementary items. Complementary items means like if you are having the gun, but if you don't have the bullet, these guns will not work. So these, if you have a razor, nowadays inbuilt razor is coming. Before, the razor and the blade was the example, because that's why they always push the price for the razors less and the blade high. And this pricing was actually loss leader pricing. When they fixing the prices for the razor and the blade, actually they were following the policy for the loss leader pricing. They were reducing the price of razor, because they know that every time you won't go and buy the razor, but they increase the price of blade, so that you can always pay the more for the blades. Even this is same pricing policy was used for the camera. You remember the camera and reel has the same pricing models. Nowadays it is not there, but before, when it was there, actually they were selling the camera for less and reel for the highly profit items, so that they can cover the loss also. And that was the reasons, when the pricing comes, they have to think about the complementary item. They have to think about the complementary item. And why stand for income of the consumer. Y stand for income of the consumer. T stand for test for the consumer. T stand for the test for the consumers. Okay. T stand for the test, and A stand for the advertisement. Okay. And N, so it is the functions of different factor. So when you are fixing the price, it is not just one item. It has a different factors works together. That is the price itself. That is the price itself. Then it comes to the price of substitute. Then comes to the price of complementary item. Then it comes to the income. Then it comes to the trip test. Then it comes to the advertisement. Then maybe it's come preferences, something like that. Test of the consumer. N for populations, number of peoples, that is called populations. So these are the factors who influence the demand. So in essay they can ask you what are the factors that influence the demand. So you have to, if you are able to write these functions, you will able to explain them. Ki in the demand functions, demand is just not influenced with its own price. There are the other factors also works together, so that demand can be derived. तो ये functions में कोई doubt है क्या रोशन भाई? Okay, now come to the supply curve. सप्लाई कर्व में क्या होता है कि द मोर इज द प्राइस, द मोर विल बी द सप्लाई, द मोर विल बी द प्राइस, द मोर विल बी द सप्लाई. Are you agree with this or no? Because everybody will wanted to make the money. Everybody will wanted to make the money. Price has a direct relation. If the price is high, the quantity supply will be high. Quantity supply will be high. If the price will low, the quantity supply will low. Because nobody willing to supply at the lower cost. Okay, so it means here price is the high price is the incentive to the producer to produce more. The law of supply says that the quantity supplied by the producers depend on the price given other things are constant. Other things का मतलब populations, technology and other things. So in summary, if you wanted to know that law of demands affect the quantity demanded inverse way, so they can ask, they always say that it's always जो डिमांड कर्व जो होता है ना वो कैसे काम करता है, स्लोप में काम करता है. इसमें काम करता है, दे ऑलवेज कम फ्रॉम लेफ्ट टू राइट, they always goes to the left to right, means the moment price decreases the demand increases, price decreases demand increases. But when it comes to the supply, it is from right to left, it is coming from right to left. It has a, when the price was high, the quantity supply was high. When the price got reduced, the quantity demand got reduced. So in the one point they will intersect, and that is called the price determination. उसको क्या बोलते हैं, price determination. That is called the intersection point. The law of supply says that price affects the quantity supply in the same way price moves. यानी in the same direction में काम करता है. It is related proportionately. यानी जितना में जाएगा same proportions में, same direction में काम करता है. If the price increases, quantity supply will increase. If the price decreases, quantity supply will decrease. For an example, if the industry has a high supplies, it will attract the many enterprises. If the price goes down, the supplier cuts the productions. Okay, and how the price is being determined under the perfect competition market? Price is always determined through the intersection, through the equilibrium, equilibrium का मतलब क्या होता है? It is the intersection point for the law of demand as well as the supply that determines the equilibrium price. इसका मतलब है, this is the demand line, this is the supply line. When they intersect to each other, that is actually price of the goods. It means this is the price the people wanted to pay. इसके ऊपर में अगर कुछ भी आ रहा है, that is called the ओवर सप्लाई है, price has to come down. इसके नीचे में कुछ भी है, it means the people is demanding more at the lower price. Excess demand, price will has to rise. Now when the demand is high, you will stop giving the catering the people in, so you will just increase the price so that many people will go out. So after the equilibrium, whatever is the produce is sold, no oversupply, no excess demand. So equilibrium is the point where no oversupply and no excess demand from the market. So equilibrium you can easily determine. How you will determine? It is the intersection point between the supply and demand. Supply कैसे काम करता है? It always goes to left to right. But when it comes to the supply, it's always go from right to left. It always go from right to left. So this is how the equilibrium works and how the price of the product is determined under the perfect competition market, perfectly competitive market. Okay, the rest thing we will be continuing in the next session, because I have to again discuss the same thing. Okay, because 2-3 people are absent. So next day we are going and completing the sections by doing all the elasticity of demands and all. and we will have the numericals after that. Okay. Thank you, Roshan bhai.